Hey everybody, hope your guys' week has been really good. Welcome back. This is Geo, and this is I'm scared! And we are glad to go into episode 2, The Thing in the Dark from It Welcome to Derry. Uh, I loved the fact that this came out and really had you kind of looking at a different perspective of Derry again. I love that it came out on Halloween. I love the release because I love when in Halloween I always try to watch something that's spooky. And this one was really good. It provided us a more deeper point of view of just exactly how much control this entity has. But without any further ado, let's hear our theme song and let's get to it.
If you are prone to scary easily, avoiding all the scary horror movies, you'll never watch but are intrigued to. Geo and Alex watch and review, so you don't have to. So you don't have to.
All right, so we are coming back after exactly what happened at the end of episode 1. And if you don't remember what happened in episode 1, some kids got murdered in a theater. Holy Toledo, it is crazy. Now, the surviving kids, again, Lilly and Ronnie, both having to deal with trauma. This isn't the first trauma that Lilly has had to go through. Don't get me wrong, Ronnie probably had her own stuff, being that over in Derry they're like super, super racist. And her being, person of color, black, she may have some trauma on that. But like Lilly describes a lot of her trauma about her dad, who worked at a pickle jarring factory, and one occasion when they went to go visit, she had lost a ring and she needed her dad to go get it. And when he went to go get it, something else was happening to the machine, so he said, "Okay, I'll fix it." So he went in to go fix it, thinking he had turned off the machine, and when the issue was resolved, the machine turned on, and guess who ended up in pickle jars? Yeah, her trauma was freaking huge. Well, now you're not only dealing with her father trauma, you have now a real trauma of watching these kids get killed by this being. And so now we're trying to figure out what is going on. Who are they going to blame this on, right? Because now the police is involved. All right, they need to put blame on someone, and the only one that they can think of is Ronnie's dad, Hank Grogan, because he's the projectionist for the movie theater. So he becomes the suspect. They still don't have the evidence, but he becomes a suspect. And so that causes Ronnie to be scared that she's going to lose her dad. And trying to figure out what's going on with, like, to have Lilly try to, like, not tell the cops, the full truth, because then they'll seem crazy. And Lilly doesn't want to tell them the full truth because she's already been to the loony bin, right? So you have this just freaking crazy episode of them trying to figure out how, and these are kids. We're talking about like elementary kids. I think middle schooler, maybe more than anything. But they're in between that. Like, I think they're like 13ish to like middle schoolish. But trying to get all that. Plus, you have the parents pissed that their kids are dead, right? No bodies found, so the mystery stills out. Like, where the heck are the bodies? And the parents are like wanting the sheriff to go after Hogan or Grogan, right? The dad. So there's just a whole lot of things. Now, this is also getting us back into the plot of the military. The military, we're in the subplot of the Cold War. If you don't know anything that's happened in the wars, just understand one thing. The Cold War was basically a measuring of dicks contest between Russia and the US, right? Nothing really happened, but a lot of movements were made due to very suspicious things, right? And them thinking that Russia had warheads and they were gonna, bomb us, and us preparing warheads so we can bomb them. And it just that was basically the Cold War. It was a who's bigger and who's biggest and who can stop this, right? But that includes why the military is in Derry, because they're trying to find something. They're trying to find a secret weapon to be able to help them win the Cold War, right? This involves, of course, the new arrived Hannon, who ends up, realizing there's something wrong or something weird about this base. He's getting, he got attacked at night trying to get, someone trying to figure out what were the secrets of something. He didn't hold. He fought off. He was good. And so we left it at that. It was very interesting, right? But at the end, they finally, the general tells them, okay, you are in accordance to us, so we will let you know what's happening. And then we get to a point where they're in a dig site, right? And they're digging and they're digging and they're digging and they're digging. We don't know what they're trying to find. Now the cool part about this dig site is that there is another soldier there that has a gift. And this guy is someone who is connected to The Shining. I have not discussed The Shining yet because Stephen King has a whole list of so many things. But there is a man in The Shining who has the same kind of gift where he can sense um, ghosts, evil, kind of see them and stuff like that. So we have an introductory of him before he made it to that hotel, right, years later. But we see that he is in the military helping them find this secret weapon, right? Telling them where to dig and kind of getting special privileges because of that. Uh, but we get to the ending where he says we're getting close, and they end up finding a car full of skeletons at the dig site connected to the earlier ride of Maddie. So we are in a point where this family got murdered, and then I'm guessing it buried the body under. I don't. All buried the bodies or ate them and then buried the rest. I don't know. But they ended up finding that car and there. But we don't know. They just left it as a cliffhanger. We don't know if Maddie's in there yet. All right. But with the whole other side of it, so now we got the army side. Now we get the other kids, the survivors. And the worst part about this is that the sheriff is being forced by these parents to, get the Grogan dad and arrest him because he's the murderer, and they want justice for their kids, right? And he ends up tricking Lilly into kind of divulging or saying it in a way that he was there, or that he was a projectionist, that he played the movie, or in a way to kind of be able to put the blame on him. So he gets arrested, and Lilly hides from Ronnie because Ronnie is pissed. I would have been pissed if my dad got taken and it wasn't his fault and I knew about it. So Ronnie ends up having, she ends up having a pretty crazy, he's still attacking both of them. And when I say he, I'm meaning this they them creature, this it, right? The creature is attacking them still during all this time, right? Ronnie has a freaking crazy nightmare about, her mom, and being in the wound and then being birthed and the mom dying and all this other stuff. And then Lilly has a hallucination in the store, which causes her to go like to act and feel like she's crazy and all that stuff. And they end up the store manager is just like, hey, what's wrong with you? Because she ends up breaking a glass of a jar of pickles. And so not only are we with this other cliffhanger of we found the car that possibly we may be able to find Maddie's body in, right? I'm not 100% sure, but we found this car with bodies. Ronnie's dad, sorry, Ronnie's dad is going to jail and being framed for the murder of these other kids. And now Lilly is being sent back to the the loony bin, right? And I forget the name of it because there is a specific name of that one place. But yeah, you're seeing this kind of ending, this cliffhanger of an ending of like, well, what's gonna happen? What are we looking at? Is there gonna be a resolution? Are they gonna be able to find the kids? Now, to be honest, I know it's not gonna end up into being like a happy ending where they find who killed them and they're able to kill them or they can use them as a weapon because we all know that's not gonna happen because we have the other It, right? This is a prequel. If it were a sequel, then it would have been different. Yeah, we could probably be like, oh, there's a resolution. But there is no resolution because in 27 years, he's going to come back and he's going to get the loser. He's going to go after the Losers Club, right? But we have this this cliffhanger and we're trying to figure out what is next, right? What is going to happen and what will happen to Lilly now that she's back in this in the mental hospital? What's gonna happen to Ronnie? Is she gonna still be getting attacked? Will she be the next victim because her dad's no longer there and maybe grandma won't be able to help? Will these skeletons be able to prove Maddie's death and maybe these other ones who got involved in this death? We don't know. These are questions we have still that hopefully we get when season episodes 3 and 4 come out. So, without any further ado, guys, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of season 2. It is getting crazy, but there'll be more to come on episode 3. So, I'll see you guys next time.
If you are prone to scare easily, avoiding all the scary horror movies, you'll never watch but are intrigued to. Gio and Alex watch and review, so you don't have